Hello folks, Dwayne here with Chosen Adventures. Today we're here at home base. Here's the 31 MB Grand Design Reflection fifth wheel, and it's here in our, got it parked under our shed here. And today I'm going to be washing and waxing and getting it ready for our trip to the mountains next week. And so I'll show you exactly what I do to keep it nice and clean and keep it shined up and protected from the elements.
Bring me something new. The past most of the time brings me down, and my future won't exist without living now. So I spread all my footprints around, yeah. I know that every day will always bring me something new.
So the product that I use to clean and protect my RV is called Wash Wax All. This is a highly recommended product by a lot of people, and so far I have had very good success with it. It's very easy to use, and it really does seem to protect the surface of the paint and the clear coat, the gel coat, whatever you have. So I initially purchased mine with a kit. It came with this here attachment that you put, I put on the end of this extension pole here. And you've got a dry side and a wet side. That way you don't get mixed up. And then you have these here pads. One goes on each side. Velcro's right on there. And it's very, very simple, very handy to use. And I put some of this here Wash Wax All into a spray bottle. And that's really about all you need. Pretty simple process. So I'm going to go ahead and start here in the front. And I usually start by spraying on my Wash Wax All solution here. Just spray it on here, get it damp. Just take maybe a section here at a time. And then again, this here attachment here has two sides. One is labeled dry and one is labeled wet. So we take the side that's labeled wet, and initially here we go ahead and take our Wash Wax All and dampen this one side here. Just get it nice and damp. Just do this once at the beginning, and after that you don't have to spray that again. You just spray the side of the camper. So then I just bring my take the wet side, and I come over to where I sprayed the side of the camper, and you just start massaging it in like this right here. Just wipe the whole surface. Try to get a nice coverage. And again, it's always good to take just sections at a time, small sections that you can manage, because you don't want this drying on ahead of you. So once you've wiped in that section, go ahead and flip it over to the dry side. And now you just take and buff this in. Just takes a few passes just to kind of buff it in and make sure it's nice and dry. And again, just work over the same section until you have it nice and dry and buffed in. So the other nice thing about this is you can just put this stuff right over everything. You can put it right over the windows, the trim. And again, I'm just coating another section here, maybe 5-6 feet wide and fairly tall camper here, so I'm coming down not quite all the way, and I'm going to work in this section here now. So now let me just show you here. I'm not washing this with soap and water beforehand. Now, if there was a lot of mud and raised dirt and sand and things on here, then I would probably do that. Rinse it off first. But you can see. I don't know if you can see on here, but it's this kind of this black brown road dust going on here. Kind of your typical grime, but over here where I've cleaned, it just takes it right off and shines it right up, and it actually protects it from future dirt sticking to it. So the more you do this, the easier that your dirt will come off and will not stick as it dries. So it's really considered a truly waterless type of wash. The neat thing is it washes and waxes all in the same step, and it's very relatively simple and easy to do. So one thing I like to do is keep a microfiber rag handy. So you have these areas here where it's kind of hard to get in with the big mop head, so you can use this to come in and clean and buff around some of these tighter spots and these trim pieces and so on. Shine them right up. So if you have a larger RV like we do here, say 35 to 40 feet, at some point you're going to feel like the dry side is actually becoming kind of wet, and it's not buffing it dry anymore. And so here's where it's good to have a few extra of these here pads that you just can replace. And I probably do this about halfway through. What I do is I take what was originally the dry side and I switch it over to the wet side, and then I take the wet side, which is now getting fairly dirty as you can see, and I put a clean one on there, and that becomes my new dry side. But make sure you switch it over so that you don't get mixed up as to which is wet and which is dry. You may get into a situation sometimes where you have some black streaks. Thankfully, we have a cover, and so it doesn't set in the weather a long time, so we don't have a whole lot of black streaks. But sometimes here on the rear of the RV, we'll get these here black streaks. And so I choose to clean that off first of all with something else. And I actually have this stuff here that works pretty good for bugs and smudges and whatever. It's called Griots Garage Bug and Smudge Remover. So this has worked pretty well. So we'll give this a shot, get some of those black streaks off of there, and then we'll carry on. So you can see, got a lot of smudging going on here, some black streaks and whatnot. So we're going to go ahead and get that off of there. Spray a little bit locally here. And we'll take a rag and just get in here and clean it right off. So yeah, this is some really good stuff. Now, just like anything else, I always would say make sure that you test a spot first on your finish, just to make sure there's no reactions. Shouldn't be, but it's always a good policy whenever you try something new. Well, so I'm about, I'd say 3/4 of the way through, and I'm down to about that much left in my spray can, so I'm gonna go ahead and put some more in. I don't know, it depends on, I guess, the size of your camper, your RV, as to how much you're gonna use, but for me it takes a little over a full spray can. This is a 24-ounce spray bottle, and so I usually have to fill it back up at about 3/4 of the way through, and go from there. Okay, so there we are. I've got the whole exterior of our RV washed and waxed. Boy, I don't know if you guys can hear that, but there's a squirrel over here that seems to be really ticked off, raising a ruckus. Anyway, back to what we're doing here. So yeah, I'm really pleased with this. Now I've used this product ever since I bought this camper new for the past year, and so I feel like it's really done a great job of developing a nice shiny seal on here and protecting the surface. Again, if it gets very dirty with a lot of grit and grime, I wash it off with water first, but for the most part I can usually just use this method here. Now I will say I'm one of those that was always kind of old school. It took me a while to really accept the fact that you can do waterless washing. I always felt like you needed to wash it with soap and water and then wax it, but if you do it right, you use the right kind of tools, use the right products, and of course if you use the right applicator like you have here, it traps the dirt down inside there, and it does a good job. I'm a believer. Now this time I'm not going to use the wash wax off for the nose cap here. I don't know if you can tell it, but it's very shiny. I did something different on this time. Let me show you here what I did. I used this product that I was talking about earlier, this bug and smudge remover, and because there was some some bugs on there, dried really hard. So I use this to clean it off. And then Griots actually has another product that you put on after, and it's called Bug Barricade. And so I put this on after I cleaned it with the bug and smudge remover. And you know, it really did a great job. I mean, the bugs came off, no problem. And then this was applied, and it's supposed to create like a shield so that the bugs don't stick. Now, this is something you have to reapply, I guess, after, you know, maybe a heavy rain, driving in the rain, or after washing. So, but anyway, I'm going to see what it does. We're going to head out next weekend to the mountains, and we'll see how it works, and maybe I can report back as to how it performed for me. But boy, it sure looks nice. So these are the products that I used today, and I'll try to put a link to these down in the description below. But you can see here the applicators. Now this is one that's still clean. I did not use this one. I have a total of 4 applicators. I believe two comes with the kit, and you may have to get the second set extra, but you can see the first one here, so you can see how dirty that one is, and then these are the ones I ended up with right here, and you see all the dirt on there that it pulled off. And of course the wash wax all here, that's what I use first to clean the RV and to shine it up. And then I use the bug and smudge remover to get any black stains, streaks, marks off that I couldn't, that wouldn't come off with the wash Waxall. And then usually after I did that, I went back over it again with the wash Waxall. And then, like I said, for the front nose cap, I used this the other day. I didn't get any video of it, but after applying the bug and smudge remover and got all the bugs off of there, and they came off so easy, then I treated the whole front nose cap with this stuff here in the Bug Barricade. And boy, it sure looks good, and we're going to see how well it performs. It's supposed to create a kind of a shield so the bugs don't stick, and hopefully it'll do the job. So what I do actually to clean these is I'll get all these together along with any microfiber towels that I used or rags, and I'll go ahead and put them in the washer, maybe with a couple of towels or something. And do not use any fabric softener or anything like that, just soap and water, and that'll clean them right up, and they'll be all nice and fluffy and ready to use the next time. He's a good boy. Good boy.